Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another episode of Soul of the Skull. We've got Joel, we got Matt, we got Big Lou, we got roommate Sam O there. And today we're going to be going through the Vikings and Bears game that occurred this past Sunday. Also, we're going to talk about the Vikings and Niners game that could be brutal on Monday, but we'll get there when we get there. And then we'll run through the predictions that have come off the board and do game picks as well. So with that said, we just get right into this. So the Minnesota Vikings are now 2-4 on the year. They took a victory against the Chicago Bears, who were 1-4 heading into the game. Now they're 1-5. Game was at Soldier Field. The Vikings won by, honestly, I forgot the final score.
But it was like 19-13.
It was a very lame game. I think we can all agree. I got bored watching it. But, the Vikings were able to take home a victory. Couldn't decide whether I wanted the Bears to have a comeback with that D2 guy that I don't even know his name.
Tyson Bagent.
Yeah. I'd never heard of him heading into when he came in the game.
I was like, 2 records.
So yeah,
I heard he set like passing, touchdowns, and a bunch of other records for D2.
Yeah. But yeah, I knew a fair amount of the quarterbacks, obviously, that were drafted this year and prospects and stuff. But when they said this rookie guy's coming in, I'm like, who? I never saw his name a single time.
Yeah, he was. I thought they were going to put in Peterman over him, but I guess not.
They got rid of Peterman like a week or two ago.
Peterman was on the roster.
He was
on the bench. Yeah.
Oh, it's probably for the better they didn't put Peterman in. We've seen him. We've seen Peterman.
Yeah. Yeah. The guy that was in threw an interception and had a fumble. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Peterman's the same man that threw 5 interceptions in one half alone. Like, how do you top that?
Trevor Lawrence did it in the playoffs, but managed to win. So
a win's a win. So
a win is a win.
A win is a win. So I'll pull up the box score. We can go through a couple simple things with the Vikings game, and then we'll take a look at their game this upcoming week. Was it correct? 19-13 was the final score. Let's take a look at the box. Kirk Cousins went 21 for 31, 181 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, passer rating of 93.6. Justin Fields passing. 6 for 10, 58 yards, 1 interception. He was sacked 4 times, had a passer rating of 36.7. So after Justin Fields and DJ Moore had flawless games against Washington, and same with the week before, I don't remember anymore who they played, but 2 good games in a row. Expected another one against this Vikings defense that has been hit or miss. Stats-wise, they've actually been pretty good, but I've seen this defense in the past. Still not fully sold on it yet. But yeah, held him to a passer rating of just 37. So this Vikings defense did a good job of limiting him. He also had just 46 rushing yards, but then also he was hurt during the second half of the game as well. So my initial takeaway is that the Vikings defense did a fine job containing Justin Fields and especially DJ Moore. DJ Moore, I look at his yardage. He had 5 catches, 51 yards, but 24 of those yards were on just a single pass. So they did a good job. They did a good job against that big offense.
No, sorry, Joe. If I'm not mistaken, the Vikings let up like a 39-yard pass play that Fields threw. So that's where most of his yardage came from. And that leaves, 19 yards from the 5 other passes. That's fairly impressive from the Vikings defense, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Vikings defense that got a little banged up. We saw some guys getting hurt out there. I thought second-year corner Andrew Booth, he got some snaps. He played really well, giving up 1 catch for 7 yards on, I believe it was 10 snaps. That's a guy that a lot of people have given Kwesi hard time for after drafting him. He almost didn't make the roster coming out of camp, and he's been, in the time he's played, he's been solid. So I think younger guys like that continuing to step up on the defense. Obviously Jordan Hicks, defensive player of the week, that fumble recovery off Bagent on his first drive. So this defense is definitely trending in the right direction when they have to, obviously with the Niners coming up this week.
I do also like with our defense this week that we got to the quarterback and were able to wrap up. I know a few times we got into the backfield but completely had whiffs on there, but I do think we are getting better at that. And it seems to be a repetitive thing that we're having those whiffs in the backfield, but I definitely see them getting there being less of those whiffs in the backfield, and we're getting more tackles for losses and sacks.
Yeah, the biggest thing that stuck out to me was on the offensive side with Cam Akers. He only had, I think, 2 touches. I want to see that number go up. But, I don't see what goes on in practice every day. So the coaches have a better understanding than we do. So it's a little concerning. He's not getting the ball much, but hopefully that changes over time. And that was a bad game. Not much to recap. You guys hit all the good talking points.
Yeah, our offense could not get moving besides that last drive in the first half.
Yeah, it was. I mean, every time the Vikings go to Soldier Field, it feels like it's just an ugly kind of grinded out game, no matter how good or bad the Vikings or Bears are. I remember I just always watching the Vikings, even the Vikings and Bears at US Bank Stadium. It's always an ugly game. It's always a grinded out game like this. And usually the Vikings are able to come out on top. They've had quite a bit of success over the Bears. That's partially because the Bears have not been good since winning the division in 2018. But that's kind of honestly a vintage kind of Vikings-Bears game where it's a defensive battle. One offenses can't really get going. But, ugly game overall for both teams. I mean, there was a game where it's possible for both teams to lose. I think it was that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Sam brought up something earlier that I'm gonna bring us back to. He talked about Andrew Booth, and I've openly called Andrew Booth a bust before. And so with that said, I want to bring us into a couple different things. One is I thought it was interesting. Mekhi Blackman wasn't really on the field. I saw.
Nope.
I didn't notice him out there, which I thought was puzzling because he's impressed this regime throughout training camp, and he's impressed me. I think he's done a good job for the most part, in my personal opinion. So I thought it was interesting he wasn't out there. But another player I want to bring up is Lewis Seen. He was a healthy scratch this week. I've openly called him a bust. I've been clowned on for calling him a bust, and I'm going to stand by that probably till the day I die. Lewis Seen is a bust, and I want to know what you guys think about that. We're in his second year. I understand he broke his leg. He wasn't even playing before that, though, which is some of the issue I have. But you were a first-round pick. You should be out there playing. You should be out there starting, and he's not. He's a bust.
I think calling him a bust right now is not – I mean, I'm not going to call him a bust just yet. Just because you look at the Viking safety room right now, I mean, you got Harrison Smith, who I think Seen has been drafted to replace because this is most likely Harrison Smith's final year in purple. You have a guy like Cam Bynum, who's been playing great this year, and then Josh Metellus, who became a captain, special teams guy, and has worked his way onto the field, had a phenomenal game against the Bears. You have guys like that. Even Theo Jackson's been getting in the mix a little bit. So I think hopefully Seen's time will come. Maybe he'll get some run, but I think, and with the leg injury, because that was a brutal leg injury in London that he had last year. I'd give him the rest of this season, see how it goes. And then maybe when Harrison's gone next year, I'd keep him around. And then after that year, if he's not playing well, I mean, he's gone, something like that. Or when his rookie contract's up, I mean, if he's not producing better than he is right now, because you don't want a rookie first-round pick, or you don't want a first-round pick playing special teams. You want him starting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think to say, I mean, the dude snapped his leg in half and used that to boast your position on calling him a bust is absurd, in my opinion. Yeah, he hasn't played up to what we want him to, but to label him a bust is it's too far, and you're getting clowned on because you deserve it.
I'm getting clowned on because I deserve it?
You deserve it for that take because you're not the only one who has that take.
I know. The first 3 weeks, though, he wasn't even playing either. He had, no snaps.
Who was ahead of him, though? Who was ahead of him?
Cam Bynum, a 5th-round pick.
He was there before.
And should 100% be on the field over Seen. I'm not saying Seen should be on the field over anyone, but right now. But we'll see. I mean, when Harrison's gone, that's going to open up that spot. I mean, right now, honestly, I'd probably throw Josh Metellus in there, who's a 6th-round guy out of Michigan who, as an avid Michigan football fan myself, have watched pretty much every snap he's played in his collegiate and NFL career. So, I mean, I love Josh Metellus. So I think right now, I mean, he's probably going to start over Seen, but anything can happen. This is the National Football League. We've seen crazier stuff.
Yeah. See, that's another reason I'm going to back up the fact that Seen's a bust. Josh Metellus is playing over him. Josh Metellus was like a 5th-round pick, if I remember right.
Did Josh Metellus snap his leg in London, though?
That doesn't matter, though. That's irrelevant.
How does that not matter?
Because he wasn't playing before that. He's healthy now. Still, he's not on the field. He's not even like hardly playing special. He's not not even hardly. He's not even playing special teams either.
You know what is considered healthy though if you completely snap your leg?
Okay, I do that. I do agree. As soon as I said that, I realized that is actually a valid argument that I could be called out for. But
we're lucky we're on time restraints right now. We might have to move on, but this will
right.
definitely be revisited.
Another day, we can absolutely revisit this argument. I would love to. So, unless anyone else has any thoughts on the Vikings-Bears game, I think we can transcend into.
I mean, I'll just share one more thing. I think going back on the running backs, I don't think Akers should be the starter, but I think that this offensive line has been run blocking a lot better. The analytics show that. The eye test shows that. Even Ed Ingram's been better throughout these weeks. But I do think they should start splitting carries more because, frankly, Madison played horrible in the Bears game.
Alexander Madison had 18 carries this week. Cam Akers had 1. Brandon Powell had 1. And then Kirk had 2 rushing.
Yeah. I think we should see a little more 50-50 out of Akers and Madison in different situations.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Completely agree.
One more thing before we go. I think Akers is a little more explosive through the middle than Madison is. And it seems like he can blow through there and speed through that, even if there's a little clog, he can blow through that way better than Madison can.
His acceleration is pretty stellar. Even on 6-yard runs, you have that anticipation, he can break this one. He's got that big playability.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know the exact stats on it, but I'm pretty sure his yards per carry is 2 yards more than Madison's at the point.
On very limited snaps, but that is also key.
I do agree with that, but at the same time, maybe you should give him a couple more looks in there to see if you can prove and keep that stat up.
Mm-hmm. All right. With that said, I think we can transition into the game this upcoming week. The Vikings play this week on Monday Night Football, host to the San Francisco 49ers, who are now 5-1 on the year. They were 5-0 before they lost this past week to
the Browns.
Yeah, I watched the end of that game. I don't know why I was blanking there. The Browns, it was a pretty good ending.
Mm-hmm.
Nice missed field goal. All the Browns fans were happy. I was happy.
Okay, one thing before we keep going. Did you guys see the video where it was someone holding a box fan next to the TV?
Yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I just had to bring that up. I thought that was hilarious.
Yes, it was pretty funny. So with that said, the 49ers are coming in a bit banged up. Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, and Trent Williams were all hurt in their game against the Browns this past week. It does appear that they will all be good to go, but we'll just have to see. That is still 4 days away or whatever, how many days it is, something like that. So, but overall, I think it's fair to say, and everyone here will agree, the 49ers are just simply a better team. This game has potential to be brutal.
No, you're right.
I know. Everyone knows I'm right.
The way the Vikings offense have played against the Bears, there is no shot we're winning this game. The Niners defense is going to be way too much for the Vikings offense to handle, especially with Jefferson not out there.
Even with Justin Jefferson, their chances of winning this game were slim, and now they're none. So
Kirk Cousins is going to have a performance of a lifetime. That MVP statement type game that I'm still waiting for to happen. But yeah, you can tell this offense really misses Jefferson. That was evident in the Chicago game.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead, Sam.
So I'm going to be show a little optimism here because of a few things. I don't think the Vikings are going to win this game. However, all their games again this year have been one score, including against the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Now, obviously, that was with Jefferson.
It's because because Taylor Swift wasn't there.
Because Taylor
That's
Swift.
why it was close.
And then another stat I saw on Twitter is the Vikings have not lost to the 49ers at home in 26 years. Now, I expect that to change on Monday. However, the Vikings have a weird obsession with playing one-score games. So, I mean, if a game's within a score, it can end in any way. So, I think this game is going to be closer than a lot of people expect, but in the end, the 49ers are a Jake Moody field goal away from being undefeated. Obviously, that was tough to see. Jake Moody, Michigan guy, 3rd-round pick, greatest kicker in Michigan history. So I have him in all my fantasy leagues. But Yeah, I don't think they're going to win this game, but I think it'll be a lot closer than a lot of people think.
Mm-hmm.
One thing there I thought just happened. I mean, if McCaffrey was healthy, if Deebo Samuel was healthy, if all the guys were truly healthy, I do believe that they would run away with this. Like, no, tomorrow it'd be probably 2-3 score game. But since they may not be quite healthy, I do agree it could be a close game, that one score game maybe. But I don't see the Vikings having what it takes to beat the Niners here.
I feel like this has shades of a potential Cowboys game. We remember that game last year at US Bank, a blowout on national television. We also have the saying, playing to your level of competition.
Yes.
The Vikings have done that all this year, and one would say that's what we could expect on Monday. But I have a strong feeling we're going to have shades of that Cowboys game last year.
Would it be bad for me to say this? I'm going to stand by this take. I might have another controversial thing to say here. It's that I would rather, since I want this team to be sellers at the deadline, because they're not set up to make a big run this year. It's just a fact that they're not. Would it be bad if I said I would rather them go out there and get completely whooped than lose by 3? Because that's what I'd rather have happen.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. I'm an anti-tank. You know, you should go out there and try to win games. But I do understand where you're coming from. And I think regardless of this game, I still think the Vikings it sounds like they're setting up to be sellers at the deadline with guys like Daniil, Jordan Hicks, people like that. So
yeah, you got KJ Osborne in that mix too, which is a whole nother topic. But I mean, you got to think it is October, and you know Kirk is amazing in October. He's 23-16-1 in October, so maybe he'll keep his streak going for that. Because I think last year he was undefeated in October. So you never know what Kirk's going to do.
If they get destroyed, I feel like this ownership and front office would be more likely to sell more pieces, which is what I'd be looking for. So that's what I think behind that.
If the Vikings, I was just going to say, if the Vikings miraculously won this game, we're not selling.
Oh, no.
They would think we're contenders.
And then we're going to go and blow out the next 2 games, and then we're back down to, oh, shoot, we should have sold.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, so anyone else have any thoughts on the Niners game? I mean, we've kind of been unanimous here. But unless there's anything else, we can move into predictions and whatnot.
We're doing the ones off the board first, all right?
Yeah, well, yeah. All right, so that means move on?
Yeah.
Right on. Let's do this. So with that said, I got to flip to the predictions right there. So those are the predictions that have come off the board. We're going to run through them in a minute, and those are the stats, which we're about to run through in a minute as well. So I said the Lions would beat the Bucs by at least 14. They did win by exactly 14. So that was right down to the end. I said Jordan Addison will have at least 100 receiving yards against Chicago. He had...
I think he had like 50 maybe.
He had... Why can't I find it? Where'd it go? He had 28. 3 catches for 28 yards, and that was it.
He had a touchdown, though.
Yeah, he had the touchdown there.
He did have a touchdown. Sam said, not Sam on screen, other Sam said the Browns defense would force at least 1 turnover against the Niners, and they did. This was also why I asked about the, in the group chat, this is why I asked about the recovering fumbles. Because I looked at the box score at halftime, and the Browns forced a fumble, but they didn't recover it. So I wanted to make sure we were all on the same page. But then they did have an interception later, so it didn't even matter. But that was why I brought that up. He also had made a bonus prediction that we peer pressured him into at the end of the episode last week that said Dak Prescott will not throw an interception against the Chargers, and he did not. So that gave him a free 2 points. Big Lou has some red here.
Quite a bit.
He said the Vikings would have 3 or more sacks, and they had like 6 or something.
5
or 6. Yep. Then he said JJ will have 1,000 or more by the end of his 8th start. Yeah, it's not happening. He said Cam Akers will have his first touchdown against the Bears. That didn't happen. Cam Akers isn't even with the Vikings anymore. Wait, no, not Cam Akers. Miles Gaskin. Sorry, it was Miles Gaskin.
Big Lou might not have meant this, but we're talking JJ individually through 8 games. Through his own 8 games, not the team 8 games.
Or his 8th start. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's on me. I read that wrong.
Well, thank you, Matt. I didn't realize that because I can't see it too clearly.
I just listened and I was like, I want to help my man out.
Yeah,
'cause
that's
we're,
fine.
we're bottom feeders. We gotta get our stats
I will
up.
apologize to the people. I read that wrong. I knew that, but then I forgot. So I do know that's what he meant by it. He also said the Vikings' time of possession will be higher than the Bears this Sunday. It was not. I don't think the Vikings have a higher time of possession this whole year. Maybe they have once, but
No, it was closer this game because I did look at it. I don't remember it off the top of my head now, but it was closer. I think it was like 23 to I can't remember, 23 to 28 or something. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it was closer.
And then Matt also said Jordan Addison will have at least 2 touchdowns on Sunday. He had 1. He also said Justin Fields will have at least 75 rush yards. He had 46 and was trending for 75 until he got hurt and didn't play the rest of the game. These are our stats over here. Sam has a very, very commanding lead, but that bonus prediction really came through for him. And then otherwise, everyone else is kind of clumped together. And Big Lou is actually 4 for 14 because the other one hasn't come off the board yet. So that was my bad on the tabulations. That said, are we just gonna show the ones that are just on here just because they're here? So why not?
Yeah.
Right.
I won't make any today. I have
That's all right.
been doing homework all day, so
That's totally understandable. So I'll just lead us off. We're gonna go me, then
you just uncover all 3 of yours, Joel, and then move
okay,
this.
cool. Yeah, other Sam put his in even though he's not on today's episode, and then Matt is obviously here too. And Big Lou didn't have time, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna unleash them all at once here. I said the Niners will beat the Vikings by 5 points or less. Especially if Trent Williams, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey are out like we talked about. But overall, the Vikings have been playing close games. The Niners are coming off of a brutal close loss. This game could be close, might not be, but there's definitely a chance it will be. I said the Dolphins will score at least 24 against the Eagles. This season, I just tabulated. This season, the Dolphins have scored 37 points per game.
That's crazy.
But it is against the Eagles defense, so I'm not going to say 37. But I am going to go with 24. So the Dolphins will score at least 24 against the Eagles defense this week. And I also said Jordan Addison will not have a receiving touchdown against the 49ers this week. With that said, we'll throw it over to Sam. He said Sam Laporta will score at least once against the Ravens. Definitely could see that happening. He's been playing very, very well so far this year. He also said Greg Joseph will miss at least 1 field goal versus the 49ers. I'm going to laugh if it's an extra point. We all will. And then we're all going to clown on him. He also said the Steelers defense will get at least 2 turnovers against the Rams. So that's that. We'll head on over here. Matt, you can talk about your 3. Here you go.
First off, didn't Sam clown on me for saying that we should my prediction was cutting Greg Joseph at some point during the season? He clowned on that, and now he wants him to miss a field goal. What a fake. I said the 49ers have a team, but I have 200-plus rush yards versus Minnesota. I mean, Chicago ran the ball very well against Minnesota, and they had Dante Foreman as their running back. So it's very doable. And I think Danielle Hunter will not be traded before the trade deadline. I think the Vikings will peer pressure themselves into thinking they are contenders. And a very controversial last one, TJ Hawkinson will not have a drop against the 49ers, and you can't have a drop if you don't get a target. So
That's a good one. That's a good one. Also, can you peer pressure yourself? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Well, if it's a franchise like the Vikings, yes, because there's so many different parts to it, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes.
Okay. Good that we hashed that out, though.
You get your owners and your coaches, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, now we'll head into, so that's our predictions. We'll head into the game picks now. We have them right here. I'll go up here, show the standings. These are the standings. Sam, Big Lou, and Matt all had 11 out of, I believe, 15 this past week. I only had 8. I just had a terrible week. So standings are closer than they were now. Sam is still in the lead because he's actually good at this. And yeah, and Big Lou, you are not in last.
Nope, Matt is.
Oh, it is tight, though.
It is tight.
It's a tight race for last.
It's a lot closer than it was last week. So, yeah. With that said, we're going to head into that's this week. Sam pre-put his in. I pre-put mine in. Matt pre-put his in. And then the other 2, I will just write them down as we go. So we are going to kick it off. The Jags and Saints are playing on Thursday Night Football. Should I just reveal them first?
Me and Sam could say ours, and then you could reveal the rest.
Yeah, we can do that.
I think the Jaguars are going to take this one away just because they've been pretty dominant lately. Oh, who are you going to?
I'm also going to go with the Jaguars, as the Saints did just lose to the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Texans are doing decent.
Yeah, but
Unsurprisingly, we all picked the Jaguars. So
If Trevor Lawrence's status in limbo, I feel like if he doesn't play, I feel like New Orleans can win. Will win, but
the Saints feel like such a hit or miss team. Like they put up like 3 points and then they put up like 35. Like what?
Yeah,
that's what I think about them.
All right, the
Giants.
Commanders should win this against the Giants, but you never know.
Divisional game. Anything can happen. Give me the Giants.
Ooh, he's going with the Danny Dimes potential. Is Danny Dimes playing this week, or is it too early to tell?
He's slated to.
Okay. Well, we'll unleash these. We got a 3-2 split here. The Falcons and the Bucks. What you guys got?
You know, I'm gonna go with the Falcons here. It should be a close, good game, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bucks will bounce back after that loss to the Lions. I go with the Bucks.
Mm-hmm. All right. Everyone went with the Bucks except for Big Lou. He likes being different. I was surprised that the Bucks were like 3-1 heading, or 4-1. What were they?
They were 3-1 going into that game.
Yeah, 3-1. Someone asked me, they were like, "What's the Bucks record?" And I was like, "I don't know. They're probably like 2-3 or something. That feels pretty Bucks like." And then I looked up and they were 3-1. And I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, they've been solid this year, man.
Baker Mayfield's actually been decent, surprisingly. All right, we got the Browns and the Colts.
You know, let me go with the Colts here.
All right.
Go with the underdog there.
It was just confirmed Anthony Richardson's out for the season, so I'm going to go the Browns. Even though I love Gardner Minshew.
Minshew mania, baby. Everyone went with the Browns except Big Lou.
Is it going to be a great week for Big Lou, or?
It's not going to be a great week for me.
All right, we got Vegas and Chicago.
Yeah, give me the Raiders here. Bears are due for another top 5 pick this year.
I don't know. Is Fields
top 5 picks this year?
Is Fields out this week? I don't even know. Or is he?
Bagent is expected to start.
All right, give me Tyson Bagent and the Bears. I don't care.
Oh. Actually, want me to?
Yes.
Okay.
No, he just said it to be funny.
Okay. Just so you know, if you guys ever nod your head or stuff like that, I can't see you guys on screen when I'm on the spreadsheet. Just so you know that. I can't see you guys.
All right.
So you going with Vegas?
Huh? No, I'm going with Chicago.
You're right. Buddy's going big. I like it. Can tell if you were being serious or not.
No, I think Tyson Bagent has a phenomenal game. Beat the Raiders.
4 turnovers.
And Jimmy Garoppolo's most likely out. So
that's gonna be a great game. I hope I can watch that game. 2 backups battling it out.
This time Sam's the odd duck here. But we'll see.
This one should be an interesting game, but I think the Lions are just on a roll and going to keep going.
I'm going to go the Ravens here.
I think this one's going to be more split than some of the other ones. Sorry. Let's take a peek. Yep, we got a 3-2. I was not surprised, or I was surprised Baltimore played as well as they did after they had a brutal game week 5. Then they played really well in London last week. So that was what prompted me to take Baltimore. And I mean, the Lions have been really, really good, but they're due for regression. Even though I have been on the Lions bandwagon since last year.
But they are the Lions. So
yes, that is fair. They'll always be the Lions. Bills and Patriots.
I don't think there's any question about it. The Bills.
I think the Bills are going to win. Hopefully, Mac Jones gets benched at some point and Bailey's out.
I think he might be. Didn't Bill Belichick talk about that?
I think
I
Belichick.
can't remember what he said. I know that played a part of the game last week, but
I saw Robert Kraft. Sorry, go ahead. You go first.
I was going to say I think Belichick wanted to go Molly Cunningham out of the pen if it came to it.
I saw. Did you guys see the report that Robert Kraft said something this week about Bill Belichick even isn't safe? His job isn't.
I did see something about that. I don't think.
Wow, that's
I don't think he's going to be
interesting.
fired, but we'll see.
No, because I think he's a good coach. He just doesn't have anything.
I just don't think this Patriots team's very good.
He's got no talent there.
True. So I don't think they'll fire him. He'll be more likely to step down, I think, than they fire him, or at least in like the near future.
Yeah.
So
how old is he? He's getting old.
Yeah, he's getting older.
He's like 70s.
Age. I just totally botched the spelling of Belichick. He's 71.
Cardinals, Seahawks.
It's hard for me to believe that Pete Carroll is older than Bill Belichick.
Cardinals are 1-5. Seahawks, I think.
Maybe Pete Carroll just still looks kind of young just because of all the gum he chews on the sideline.
Yeah.
He keeps his mouth moving.
Yeah, give me the Seahawks here. The Cardinals are, the Cardinals. Their record's about as bad as their jerseys.
So what's the status on Kyler Murray? Like,
I have honestly
still on the PUP list.
I haven't followed Kyler Murray for the past like at least a year now. I've just like forgotten he existed.
I think there's a very good chance that Caleb Williams is starting for the Cardinals next year. Give me the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure we all took Seattle.
It's going to be tough to out-tank the Bears. They're going to have the number 1 and number 2 pick in this upcoming draft.
Yeah. They're going to, whatever team it is, they're going to need to pay a lot if they want the number 1 pick from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, we got the Packers and the Broncos. What we got?
You know, just because we're in Wisconsin here and my RA is Packers fan, I'm going the Broncos.
Oh, you said Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos.
Let's already just input.
I just want to be able to give them crap.
Okay.
As much
We're
as
gonna
I
be giving you
want
crap and you're wrong.
Broncos to win, I don't think they're going to. Give me the Packers.
Yep. All right. Yep. That was kind of unsurprising how that went. All right, we got the Chargers and the Chiefs. The real question though is Taylor Swift going to be there this week?
I don't care.
Should we do a separate bracket for that? Yeses and nos for is Taylor Swift?
That's a prediction for.
It's a prediction. It's a home game. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I would think she'd be there.
Oh yeah, she's been to every game but the Vikings game, so
I don't blame her.
Give me the Chiefs here.
Yeah, Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs too. I mean, I don't know how long Brandon Staley's going to be around for the Chargers if he keeps blowing games like that.
To be honest, I thought he should have been fired after the divisional round last year.
He should have been. Yeah. He should have been fired like all the way mid-season last year. Maybe even before.
And if Belichick is let go or leaves, that's the number 1 spot I'd think he'd go.
Yeah.
The Chargers?
Yeah.
What about the Panthers?
Steelers versus Rams here. Give me the Rams.
Let me see. I'm gonna go with the Rams as well. That Steelers offense with Matt Canada is brutal, and I expect he will be fired in the near future, at least at the end of the season. He's a horrible offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm. I think this is going to be. Sorry, go ahead. Whoever was talking can go ahead if they had a thought.
Oh no, I don't think anyone was.
No.
All right, perfect. I was going to say this is probably the guess. We can all agree this is the best game of the week. Dolphins and Eagles Sunday night.
Absolutely.
I think
for greatness here.
I was going to say the Vikings 49ers, but you guys just want to be different.
You mean the absolute blowout that's going to be happening on Monday Night Football?
I think you're going to be surprised.
You know, the Dolphins Eagles here. Give me the Eagles here. I think the defense is going to be too much for that Dolphins offense, and the Dolphins defense I don't think will be able to stop the Eagles.
Give me the Dolphins in this one. I think Mike McDaniel, being the offensive genius he is going to find a way to beat them.
Yeah, I just to me the Eagles are what 5-1.
Yep.
They don't feel like a 5-1 team just watching them. Whereas the Dolphins, I think Dolphins are 5-1 too, I believe.
Yes, they're both
wrong. The Dolphins feel like a 5-1 team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles are more of like kind of the traditional, kind of the older school of football, it seems like. And the Dolphins are like the extreme newer, like kind of, yeah. All right. 49ers, Eagles here. Is it even a question? The Niners are going to win.
Yep.
Yeah, give me the Niners. I picked the Vikings last time I was on here, and that got that one wrong. So hopefully I get this.
Which one was that? Which week was that?
It was Chargers.
Oh, that was when I took the Chargers and everyone got mad at me. But then I was right.
Yeah, we'll have to create a section for Sam up top there.
Yeah, we will have to.
Yeah.
All right, so that is our lovely game predictions where everyone was pretty much on the same page except Big Lou.
If you look at it, like half of mine and Sam's are flip-flop.
Yep.
So that's that. So I can end screen share, and unless there's any last thoughts, we can probably keep it going.
No, I got nothing. I just hope it's it's at least a good game. The Vikings, like, not just an absolute like boring game.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Anyone else? Final thoughts?
I mean, I don't know. The Viking season goes to crap. The Wild are off to a good start this year. So
I got my Wild down right now.
It was a big win yesterday. I got to go to the first game. That was really fun. So
Oh, the Florida one?
yeah.
Oh, that would have been good. Gus Bus
Really fun.
balled out.
Absolutely. Gus, 41 saves. It was phenomenal. And then he got 7 put up on him by Austin Matthews and the Maple Leafs. But
yeah. But
those are my final thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That said, we're going to sign out for now. Everybody have a good night. Enjoy the Vikings game to the best of your ability Monday. And we will see you guys maybe for post-game Monday, but we'll just have to cross that bridge when we get there. Have a good night. Peace out. As always, SKOL Vikings.